Hey everyone, I'm here with Scott-Putney, who's the Executive Director of Heritage Museums and Gardens. Anne, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Taiki?
Very good. I mean, it looks like your background's a lot nicer than mine right now. That's great. Taking advantage of that.
I chose this picture of a very sunny day at the entrance to Heritage, and it just keeps me smiling. I love Zoom phone calls and Zoom meetings with Heritage in the backdrop.
I know,
So
it's nice. It reminds me of it. Yeah, it takes me right back. So I guess kind of talking about that, I mean, I was interviewing a lot of different businesses in Sandwich, and Heritage is one of the big ones here. And if you can kind of take me back a little bit when things were starting to unfold, a couple weeks ago, how you personally were taking it and how the whole museum was right before opening too.
Sure, thank
Yeah.
you. Well, typically this year we would have opened April 25th,
Hmm.
and so we're not quite there yet. But as soon as we started to get news about about COVID-19 and about what was happening in other cities, we quickly made a plan for everybody just to get ready to work remotely.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, like everybody else, we quickly got on that, and I believe we probably had most of our people working remotely before others did. But I just felt that I wanted to have continuity of our work. Because we're a garden also, and we have 100 acres, it's kind of hard for our horticulturists to work from home.
Right.
And so we came up with some protocols and everything that is within the guidelines of what the CDC is saying, so that we didn't abandon our grounds
Hmm.
either, so that we're able to keep the property secure and continue to so that the grounds are maintained at least, and ultimately we'll be ready for the season once we're able to officially go back from staying at home.
Yeah, right. So you got a little bit cut out there. I don't know about the connection, but can you kind of talk? So right now you still have maintenance of all the grounds going on currently, correct?
We have to, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to keep our ground secure, and
Mhm.
we just have to make sure that we're cleaning things up.
Right.
Uh,
Absolutely. I
but
mean,
what we're
nature's not going to wait for anyone, so you kind of have to
exactly,
maintain that.
exactly. But our most everybody on our staff is still working. We can do that. That is not a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Doing lots of getting ready for the season. We're doing lots of planning ahead.
Hmm.
We've had to shift some of our events and our opening, but we're ready. We're ready. We've reinvented our season, and we're ready to roll that out when we're able to.
Wow. And then this is your second year right now as executive director?
Yes,
Or second
yes.
year. So this is quite a trial for you to enter into something and just got to
We
really,
don't pick our challenges. We just make sure that we have the tools. Excuse me.
yeah, no
In our
problem.
toolbox to face them when we can.
Right. Yeah. You just kind of have to roll with it and make the best. So as obviously the grounds are one thing, a huge aspect of heritage, but what about the museum itself and dealing with that now in the present state? Obviously your opening day is being shifted, like you said.
Right, right.
But
We've
yeah,
moved everything back.
yeah.
So we're not able to get into the museums yet to get those ready, but we will. I mean, as
Hmm.
soon as the governor lifts the stay at home order, we'll be back and finishing off getting all the exhibits ready for the season. But one of the things that we have done, so you might wonder what museum people do when they work from home. One of the things that I've told the staff to do is to turn our museums and gardens inside out. And by that I mean open the doors virtually and allow our members and our guests and our friends to visit Heritage from the comfort of their own home.
Yeah.
And so we've spent a lot of time pulling out wonderful video that we have of the museum, and bringing our online database into a virtual experience for visitors. So for example, now you can tour the Garden of the Senses right from your desk.
That's
And
incredible.
a fabulous video that was done. We have some wonderful videos about, for example, how to start a Model T, just in case you happen to have one in your driveway. You might want to know how to do that. We have some other videos on how our cars are maintained and how they are what we call exercised on a regular basis. So how we keep our cars in top shape. We have some videos about that. We have a feature called Ask a Gardener, where people will write in their kind of current gardening questions, and then one of our gardeners will tape an answer. And so every week we offer up a new question and answer for Ask a Gardener. one of the things that people might not know about museums, including ours, is that every single one of the items that's accessioned into our collection, we have about 18,000 items, is
Wow.
actually available to look at online.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, our staff has put together a really fun way of helping people navigate our collections online. Um, Little scavenger hunts where they're looking for certain types of objects. Next week, I think it's next week, we're offering up a scavenger hunt where you find all the fabulously designed hood ornaments on the cars. One of those is considered to be an object, and so you can go through the collection and learn all about hood ornaments or anything you want,
Yeah.
art by a particular artist or carvings by a favorite carver or folk art. So you can do a virtual, I call it really an exploration, not so much of a tour, but a kind of academic, deep dive into our collections right from the comfort of your own computer.
I mean, yeah, in this time period, that's an incredible thing to have available for us. I mean, that's wonderful that you guys are doing that. And even thinking about this now, obviously it's amazing to go to the museum in person, see everything there, but you can now take this and people can watch your content all over the world, basically,
That's right.
and
Yeah.
obviously they've been doing stuff like this, a lot, progressing more with video and content. But do you think after events like this, things will change permanently in some ways for museums to?
Yeah. Well, for us, I can't
Yeah.
speak for all museums.
Right.
Some bigger museums are already, farther down that path. But I
Hmm.
think for us, this is something that we've always wanted to do.
Hmm.
But this particular time period, we have really accelerated that shift from being all kind of face to face and in person to really offering to our visitors this new dimension of experiencing our museum in a virtual kind of way. And
Yeah.
we will not let that go.
Right.
It's a wonderful way to share our collections and what we know and our stories
I know.
with,
Yeah. I
um,
mean, people who are
the rest of the
physically
world.
unable to actually be there, because not
Right,
everyone can come to the Cape and see all the things that Heritage has to offer. So it's an amazing
right.
sort of, kind of slight silver lining in this whole thing.
Yeah,
Push and
yeah,
movement.
exactly. I mean, it's an opportunity that we don't really want to have to be
Right.
looking at, but it is. Can I just share one story of something that people have really
Yeah,
enjoyed?
absolutely. Yeah.
So this summer, or this coming season, we have on tap a new exhibit called Let's Play, and the subtitle is New England Toy Stories, and it's all about the toys and games that we all love. And it turns out that so many of them were actually created and manufactured in New England. And so one of the things, and it's really cool, and it's going to be, I mean, you can look, you can read about it, but you can also play a lot
Hmm.
of the games. Um,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
and so what's fun, so what we did online, which is really cool, is one of our curators who is primarily working on this project had done a lot of research into the history of Monopoly and wrote a story which is quite surprising about who actually invented Monopoly and what was actually the impetus and the catalyst for doing that, which is really, really different than what you might expect. And
Yeah.
so we had a lot of hits from people wanting to read that story and a lot of wonderful feedback about what we're calling the real story of the invention of Monopoly. So those are things that we're just I think it enriches people's lives to learn about
Yeah.
things like that. And even though we're not open yet and you can't visit Let's Play, at least you can learn more about Monopoly and kind of um, surprise your friends with your newfound knowledge about where
Yeah.
Monopoly really came from.
I know, right? And like, it's the one game probably every single person knows of, so much history.
That's right. It's at least in this country. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So and so where can people come and access this content? A lot of the stuff you've described to me.
Oh, so our website is the main source, heritagemuseums.org.
Hmm.
Within that, there's a section called Engage, which will take you to our virtual museum, and also which will take you to some of these different tours and ways of exploring the collections and the gardens and some of the museum experiences that I described, like how to start a Model T.
Oh,
For
wonderful.
yeah, yeah.
Great.
And
So
then
yeah.
social media is also a great pathway or a great
Mhm.
portal into our work as well. Um, our primary social media is Facebook.
Mhm.
So we have lots of followers, and then we do a lot of kind of inviting people on Facebook to come in and explore the collections. That's another way to follow what we're doing and learn more about us virtually.
Oh, wonderful. That's great. So I guess kind of now moving into a little bit into the future and the plans, and obviously things are
Sure.
changing dramatically by the day.
Right.
What are some of your tentative schedules that you have, like, the opening day and things like that you have for Heritage as of now, obviously with subject to change.
Right, right. Thanks for using the word tentative because I
Yeah,
think we all have to put that into, everything that we say.
right.
But I'm calling these kind of working dates. Like
Hmm.
these are the dates that we're working with, and then if we have to change them, we will. But our current working date for opening the gardens is the 23rd of May, a Saturday, which is about a month after we typically we would open the gardens. Um, if we're able at that time to open the car
Hmm.
barn, um, we will do that at that time. Um, and if not, we will open all of the museum buildings. At least our plan is to open them by the 13th of June.
Okay.
So hoping to do the gardens and the car barn, no, planning to do the gardens on the 23rd,
Hmm.
planning to do the car barn that day too. Um, and and then later in June, June 13th, we'll open up the new exhibit called Let's Play.
Okay. Wonderful. So that'd be kind of just in time for the summer once we're just going to be
Exactly.
itching to get outside.
And not to forget, because people are really excited about this, we also have on tap a series of outdoor sculptures made out of something that you and I might call Legos, which are actually, we're calling the exhibit Birds, Bricks, and Bugs. We have 24 not life size, but kind of, this big,
Yeah.
uh, sculptures made of pollinators and butterflies and birds and
Oh,
bugs,
wow.
to be installed in different garden areas. That's a really cool builder named Cody Wells. And so he's created a fabulous parade almost of these sculptures that will be installed, not in time for May 23rd, because it just has to do with vendors and people not
Yeah.
working and et cetera, but it will be by the middle of June, those will be out as well.
Oh,
So we're
incredible.
real
I can't wait
excited
to see
about that.
those. Yeah, that'll be
I know, me too. I'm so excited.
right.
I'm really
Especially within the garden. So they'll be outside
Yes,
and you'll be able to do them
all
there.
the Lego sculptures, all the brick sculptures are to be outdoors. They're each some of them are just single and alone in one place. Some of them are
Yeah.
like little flocks of birds that will be in a garden. I think there's a little array of bugs that'll be in our garden of the senses.
Yeah.
So it will be another whole kind of discovery throughout Heritage to find to find these
Oh
sculptures.
my gosh. That
But
sounds
it's
like
all in
great.
the bigger theme of Let's Play, right? So we
Right.
have
Yeah.
video sculptures, and then we have the indoor sculpture around games and toys. So it's positioned as a fun summer. We hope
Y-
it'll bring people joy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think people are dying to get out there.
Hmm.
Great. So kind of just to wrap this up, I give a lot of times a finishing statement. If you have anything you've kind of wanted to, a message to send to the public about how you think we should kind of be, doing some people have said supporting local businesses more,
Right.
whatever we can. I don't know, just as a final statement during this kind of times.
Well, let me start with that. Actually, one of the things that we're doing in our weekly newsletter is putting out links to community resources where people can make a donation. So every week we've covered things like where you can give blood, where you can make a donation to support a food pantry, where you can make a donation to support a hospital or frontline medical workers. So we're working really hard to be a resource because we come in contact with a lot of information and we are able to send our newsletter to over 30,000 people. And so we're
Wow.
able to put that information out there. We've promoted places like the Fund for Sandwich, other places whose job right now is to be on the front lines of either
Right.
medical service or safety net services for individuals who have lost their jobs or, become employed or are at risk of homelessness or something like that. So
Mhm.
we're working really hard to make sure that our readers know about these resources. So that's the first one. Ourselves, a couple of weeks ago, our curator remembered that we had 6 emergency disaster recovery kits for our collections, actually, for example, in case a flood happened or a fire and we had to go in and salvage or try to quickly pull out, artwork or whatever,
Yeah.
that we had the nitrile 95 masks, that we had goggles, that we had vests, that we had kind of robes, and we pulled everything out of our emergency kits, and we donated it actually to the Sandwich Fire Department,
Oh,
which
wow.
was able to use some of that and then forward on what they didn't need to one of the hospitals. And so that's actually really interesting. We're not the only museum that's done it, and not every museum has such kits, but the
Hmm.
larger museums do. And so there's been this really interesting upsurge or upsurge of support from museums digging into their collections, disaster kits, and giving it to the medical community. So we're really proud that we're able to help that way. We always wish we could help more.
Yeah.
And so, what would I say to people? Love thy neighbor, take care of the old people, call your mother. Um, and after you've done all those things to care for people's safety and security, and to be compassionate and kind, which we all have in us, and we all
Right.
are being that way, then take some time to visit a museum that you haven't visited before and explore their collections and see what they've got to share with you, because it's like a National Geographic of the museum world. There's so many places you can go,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and start with Heritage. We'd love to
Yeah.
have you
Right in
visit.
our backyard.
Yeah, start with Heritage right now virtually, and then come visit us over the summer.
Yeah. I mean, and throughout, like you were saying before, throughout everything, how, traumatic this whole experience is, it's amazing to have these silver linings of groups like you that are giving back and supporting the community, and that's it's always nice. It's always really encouraging to hear stuff
Oh,
like
thank you for saying that. I think we all are looking really deep inside. So what is it that we can do?
Yeah.
That's the question that I asked my staff. I said, how can we help? Think out of the box. How can we help? And that's how we came up with some of these ideas, including just this ongoing pushing out of
Yeah.
places where people can give to support frontline organizations.
Yeah. It's great just to use the huge platform you already have
Hmm.
to have another voice for that. Well, Anne, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. It was wonderful. And I'm
Thanks,
excited
Toby.
to get back into Heritage.
I know. Can't wait
Yeah,
to have you
I
back.
know those sunny days out there.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. And thanks for this work that you're doing to talk to, businesses and places like us here in Sandwich. We're in this together.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Yeah, and yeah, it's really enjoyable to talk and get different perspectives and get more news and information out there for the public to know, because I think everyone's kind of needing more of that, especially the positivity.
Hmm.
So, well, thanks a lot. So,
Thank
have a great
you.
rest of
Take
your
care.
day, and I hope to
Okay,
see
thank
you soon
you.
at Heritage. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.